Welcome to our channel. We are going to learn the second chapter of the social studies, New Kings and Kingdoms. You will be learning the effect of invading the tribes on the kingdoms of India in the early medieval period that have ruled in the different parts of India. The medieval period starts from 647 CE, soon after the death of Harshavardhan, to 1700 CE, till the decline of Mughal Empire. So, from 647 CE to 1700 CE, the Indian history is vast. So, to understand this history in depth, it has been divided into two divisions: early medieval period and later medieval period. In early medieval period, which has started from 647 CE to 1200 CE, we have read about the names of some dynasties like Rajput clans, Deccan, South India, that have ruled in the different parts of India. So in this lesson, you will be studying about these dynasties in detail. After the death of Harshavardhan in 647 CE, his empire broke up into several small states and kingdoms, each ruled by a different dynasty or a clan. Over time, many Samantas also began to grow powerful. In time, many of them grew independent of their rulers and established their own kingdoms and chiefdoms. These different groups constantly fought among themselves to assert greater power. Let us study about some of these important dynasties and clans that ruled different parts of India at this time. In parts of northern and western India, different Rajput clans reigned. The principal among them were Gurjara-Pratiharas, the Chauhans, the Paramaras. On the eastern side were the Palas, who ruled mainly in Bengal. In the Deccan region, the Rashtrakutas and the Chalukyas established power and kingdoms. In the South India, the Pandyas, the Cholas and the Cheras ruled. Let's study deeply about all these dynasties one by one. The Rajput dynasty. The Rajput were clans. Here, the clans means group of people united by a common interest or a characteristics. From the Rajput clan, many other dynasties evolved like Gurjara-Pratiharas, Chauhans, Paramaras. Now we are going to study about these dynasties who ruled in the northern and the western part of India. Gurjara-Pratiharas. Gurjara-Pratiharas was one of the powerful Rajput dynasty that ruled over a significant portion of northern and western India from 8th to 11th century CE. Nagabhatta I, a founder of Gurjara-Pratihara dynasty, he made Ujjain as their capital. He was recognized for his repeated resistance to the Arab invasions. After almost a century, King Nagabhatta II captured Kannauj, making it a focal point of their power. Bhoja I, the grandson of Nagabhatta II, was also a powerful ruler. Under him, the territory of Gurjara-Pratiharas stretched from the foothills of Himalaya to the river Narmada and from Bengal to Sindh. They are known for their strong military, particularly their cavalry. They controlled the vast empire spanning much of the North India. The Gurjara-Pratihara dynasty often engaged in the frequent conflict with neighboring dynasties like Palas and Rashtrakutas. The Gurjara-Pratihara dynasty started breaking up into several independent kingdoms around 950 CE. Around 1019 CE, Muhammad of Ghazni, an invader from Central Asia, took the control of Kannauj. This spelled the end of Gurjara-Pratihara dynasty. The Chauhans. The Chauhans are also called as a Chahmanas dynasty. This was a prominent dynasty that ruled in the parts of the present-day Rajasthan and the neighboring areas from 6th to 12th century. The Chauhans were initially feudatories under the Gurjara-Pratiharas. The feudatories means giving a military supply to its neighboring rulers. They supported Pratiharas during the Arab invasions. As the Pratihara dynasty declined, the Chauhans, with along the other feudatories, seized an opportunity to declare their independence. One of the most renowned Chauhan ruler was the legendary Prithviraj Chauhan, who ascended the throne in 1177 CE. Prithviraj was a brave warrior. A famous poem, Prithviraj Raso, was written by the poet Chan Barde, speaks about the bravery of the Prithviraj Chauhan. In 1191 CE, Prithviraj defeated the Turkic invader Muhammad Ghori in the first battle of Tarain. The Rajputs were famous for the tradition of the chivalry. The chivalry means the person who is very polite, honest, kind behavior, especially by men towards women. So Prithviraj led the defeated Muhammad Ghori unharmed. The following year, however, Muhammad Ghori returned with much larger army and defeated Prithviraj in the second battle of Tarain. This battle is believed to be a turning point in the history of India. The Paramaras. The Paramaras of Rajput dynasty that ruled the Malwa region of West and the central India from 9th to 14th century. King Upendra, also called as a Krishna Raj, is considered the founder of Paramara dynasty in the early 9th century CE. One of the famous rulers of this dynasty was King Rajabhoj. Rajabhoj was a philosopher and a prolific writer. Bhoja was known for his military achievements, administrative acumen, and arts. He is credited with founding the city of Bhojpur and building the Bhojeshwar temple and Bhojpur lake. The capital of Paramara dynasty was at Dhar. The Paramara kingdom was eventually conquered by Delhi Sultanate under Alauddin Khilji in early 14th century. So now we understood about the Rajput dynasty. Next, we are going to learn another dynasty that ruled in the medieval period. The Palas. The Pala dynasty ruled on the eastern part of India, mainly in Bengal, from around 10th to 12th century. After the death of the king Shashanka, who was a powerful ruler of that region, a local chieftain called Gopala founded the Pala dynasty around 750 CE. He was succeeded by his son Dharmapala. Under Dharmapala and his son Devapala, the Pala kingdom grew to include the present day of Bengal, Bihar, and parts of Odisha. One of the later Pala king, called Mahipala, was defeated by Chola king Rajendra Chola in early parts of 11th century CE. The Palas were Buddhist. The university at Nalanda was revived under the patronage of Palas. After the fall of Palas in 11th century, the Sena dynasty ruled over Bengal and other regions of East until 1245 CE. Now we understood about the Pala dynasties that ruled on the eastern parts of India. Further, we are going to learn about some of the other tribes who invaded India. Taking an advantage of fragmented kingdoms and attracted by the tales of the riches of the Bharat, the Afghans and the Turkic tribes from the Central Asia began to come into India through the mountain passes in the northwest. Muhammad Ghazni raided Kangra, Mathura, Kannauj, Thanesar, Gwalior and Somnath, and took back with him a vast riches from those places. However, he was not interested in ruling the territories he conquered. It was another Turki chief called Muhammad Ghori who laid the foundation of new empire in India. Muhammad Ghori was a general of Ghorid dynasty in Afghanistan. The Ghoris declared their independence from the Muhammad Ghazni, and Muhammad Ghori became the governor of Ghazni around 1160 CE. He then captured Multan, Peshawar, Lahore, that brought him into the conflict with Prithviraj Chauhan of Delhi. Soon after, he established a Turkic rule over the parts of northern India. Till now, we learnt about the dynasties which ruled over the northern India. Now, we are going to learn about the kingdoms of Deccan and South India. We all understood about the rise and the fall of the dynasties of the northern India. But the South India and the Deccan enjoyed a period of relative calm and witnessed a considerable economic and the cultural progress. The main kingdoms here were those of Rashtrakutas, Chalukyas, Hoysalas, Kakatiyas, the Cholas, the Pandyas, the Cheras, the Rashtrakuta dynasty. The Rashtrakuta dynasty was one of the most powerful dynasties in the Indian history, ruled over the large parts of Deccan between 6th and 10th century. Some of the famous rulers of this region are King Dantidurga. Dantidurga was considered to be a founder of Rashtrakuta dynasty. Dantidurga defeated the Chalukyas of Badami and Gurjara of Malwa, and another powerful king of this Rashtrakuta dynasty was Krishna I. Krishna I succeeded Dantidurga. His greatest contribution, however, was the construction of the architecture marvel. The Kailashnath temple at Ellora was built during his rule, which stands as a remarkable testament to the rock-cut architectural technique of an ancient India. Dhruva was another important, powerful king of an Rashtrakuta dynasty. He defeated the Palas and Gurjara-Pratiharas and captured Kannauj. Kannauj replaced Patliputra as a leading city of the North India, which had a better access to the fertile Indo-Gangetic plains. Amoghavasha I was considered to be a greatest of the Rashtrakuta king, ruling for impressively 68 years. Though his successful military campaigns, he expanded the empire significantly, especially on the eastern Chalukyas. Amoghavasha was a follower of Jainism. He led to the rise of Digambaras in 9th and 10th century. Amoghavasha I reign is often compared to that of Emperor Ashoka, as he was beloved by his subjects for his wisdom and peace-loving nature. In 9th century CE, Amoghavasha established his capital at Manyaketa, which remained the capital of Rashtrakutas till the end of the empire. He was an accomplished scholar, writing both in Kannada and Sanskrit. He wrote the poem Kaviraja Marga in Kannada. After ruling over 200 years, the might of Rashtrakuta was broken by the Chalukyas of Kalyan. Till now, we understood the dynasties of Rajputs, the Palas, the Deccans. Now we are going to study another dynasty of the South India, Cholas. The Cholas were an important ruling dynasty of the South India between the 1st and the 3rd century CE. After going into decline for some centuries, the Cholas rose again in the second half of 9th century as one of the most powerful dynasties of an Indian history. For the next 400 years, the Cholas held a sway over South India. The credit for paving the way for the glorious Chola rule goes largely to Rajaraja Chola and his son Rajendra Chola. These two great monarchs politically united South India for the first time. Rajaraja Chola followed a policy of war and conquest. He defeated the eastern Chalukyas of Vengi, the Pandyas, the Gangas of Kalinga, and the Cheras of Kerala, and captured large part of Deccan. Rajaraja Chola appointed his son Rajendra Chola as his successor. Rajendra Chola carried a Chola power to the greatest height. He expanded the empire significantly, conquering Sri Lanka, Maldives, the parts of Southeast Asia, including Malaysia and Indonesia. Rajendra Chola undertook an expedition to the North India around 1023 CE and defeated Mahipala of the Pala dynasty, conquering Bihar, Odisha and Bengal. As a mark of his victorious campaign, he is said to have carried a water from the Ganga to his new capital, Gangaikonda Cholapuram. Rajendra Chola's conquest of Sri Vijaya kingdom made the rulers of southeastern island kingdoms keen for a friendly relationship with him. He is believed that a King Suryavarman I of Cambodia sent a chariot as a present to the Rajendra Chola. By the 13th century CE, Chola power was one more to decline. The Pandyas defeated the Cholas and rose to power. The fall of the Cholas was hastened by the invasions of Delhi Sultanate in 1310 CE. Next, moving further into the chapter, we are going to learn about the special features of the government of Cholas. The Chola government had a very clever administrative skills, well-planned irrigation system, land revenue and a powerful army and navy. Let's study all of these in detail. Rajaraja built up Chola power with his clever administrative skills. At the top of the structure was the king, who held all the powers. The entire kingdom was divided into two categories: the areas directly under the control of the king and those governed by the vassal chiefs. The part of kingdom that was directly under the king was divided into 6 provinces, or these provinces are also called as mandalams. These mandalams in turn were divided into districts or nadas, which were further divided into a group of villages called kurams or kotams. Irrigation. The Chola dynasty implemented a sophisticated irrigation system that played a crucial role in their agricultural success. They utilized various methods, including canals, tanks, and wells, to manage water resources effectively. Rocky hollows were used to make an artificial lakes, and embankments were built for them. One of the embankments built in the Chola dynasty was Ganga Cholapuram, which is around 26 km long. Dams like Kallanai in Tanjore were built across the Kaveri to store water for the irrigation. Revenue. The main source of income of Cholas was a land revenue. The king claimed 1/3 of the produce either in cash or in kind as a revenue. Land was surveyed and categorized according to its yield. The officers were very strict in the collection of the revenue, but the king made every effort to help the farmers increase the yield. Other taxes include professional tax and those on trade, forest, mines, irrigation, and salt. A large part of state expenditure went towards the maintenance of the royal households, building of palaces and temples, maintenance of the army and navy, and financing of public welfare works like building roads and dams. Army and Navy. The Chola dynasty, particularly under Rajaraja I and Rajendra I, possessed a powerful and a well-organized military, including a strong navy that played a key role in their expansion and dominance. The Chola army were well-equipped force with infantry, cavalry, and elephant. Huge amount of money was spent on training and upkeep of the army. The Cholas under Rajaraja Chola were among the first to maintain a large and efficient navy. The Chola navy was one of the strongest assets of the Chola Empire. And that brings us to the end of the part 1 of our journey through the chapter New Kings and Kingdoms. In this part, we explored how new dynasties rose to power and how they expanded their kingdom. In part 2, we have a fun and an interactive quiz based on this chapter. It is designed to help you to revise, test your memory, and understand the concepts better. So after watching this video, don't forget to head over to part 2. The link is in the description below. And as always, if you found this video helpful, please give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more such informative videos. Let's keep exploring the history, one history at a time.